Welcome back to Crypto's Juiciest News. Bitcoin taking a tiny bit of a tumble, my friends. It is around $96,000. It could even be jumping more into real time here. What's actually going on? Well, not much is going on, friends. We're still range bound sideways, but you got to see, right, what happened yesterday. We went to this fib level. Okay, you notice these fibs, friends. We always come back to the fibs even before, like even when we're going to crash. I showed this to you yesterday from 2021. Even in 2021, 2017, doesn't matter. At the very ends, even when it's over, it comes back to the 61.8 retrace. And then it has to decide, the market has to decide from this point, are you going to like continue up or you're actually just going to continue being the end? Okay, so we've seen this many, many times. Now, you're obviously wondering, you're like, wait a minute, Sommi, this is clearly some sort of poopy rejection over here. Yeah, but what did I tell you? I said, well, based off others' BTC, based off the altcoins valuation versus Bitcoin, it's very low. These levels are literally back to friends. I'm going to show, like, let's be honest, okay? I know altcoins, say what you want about them, but I don't care who you are, dude. If you want to tell me we have made no progress in altcoins since June 2017, you are smoking some of that smelly stuff, if you know what I mean, okay? You're smoking something very, very smelly. Could be a fart in a jar, okay? Like, you want to tell me that it's fair for altcoins. You know what we've made since then? Gaming, metaverse, NFTs. I know you're joking, but there's premium stuff in there. DeFi, Uniswap got released. All the stablecoin progress. We have layer 1 chains. We have, like I said, just not just the DEXs, the upgrades of the DEXs. All these community building stuff. I haven't even got into the meme coin stuff part yet. Privacy. We have made lots of enhancements to crypto. You honestly want to tell me we've made nothing. You actually want to see. So that's why I believe that this is cheap. Now you might say, well, maybe Bitcoin is alright and crypto just goes to like literally zero negative prices, and then you actually owe Bitcoin to Satoshi at that point, because altcoins have gone down. Maybe that happens. Okay. Or what if it doesn't happen? What if we are actually cheap? If we are cheap, then what we're witnessing right now is not the end of the cycle. That's pretty much it. Now, you might want to say to me, hey, what would be telling me that it is very, very dangerous right now? Well, in my opinion, if altcoins, instead of being, say, 18 to 19% of where they are right now versus Bitcoin in terms of market cap size, if we were more towards 55, I'd be nervous, okay? Anything above, I guess just say anything above 50, I'd be nervous, okay? We are nowhere near here, okay? So look at this number. Compare where the number is, where that would be dangerous, and that to me this is safe, okay? Now, it's funny I use those terms, right? When it's safe now, but it feels trash, yeah? And what would dangerous be? Dangerous would be everyone's making money and you feel good. Everyone feels amazing, and there's lots of news coming out, okay? So that's something of a bit of a paradigm shift that we have to basically just think about. Also, when it comes to Bitcoin and everything else out here, friends, I'm going to go through some news. I'll crack on to the news as well. So here we have these the weekly chart out here. Uncle Bobby's got something where we just go like poops for like until March, which I know is painful. And why I can't look, I don't want to believe it. I don't want to, but I'll go through this a bit later as well. Do you remember, friends, Richard Hart's Interpol FUD? What we've noticed in PulseChain community is before altcoins are about to dump, or like Bitcoin or anything, like PulseChain or Hex, the core coins, they smack down first. And we've always noticed it, but we've never been really, we would have never wanted to believe it, because we always think when we go down, we should go up because we're actually cheap. We think it's always Jeet selling, but actually it's just like the natural market forces basically selling us down, and there's no buyers to take it up. And then there's always dumps, usually dumps beforehand, okay? So this is where we are right now. This is where that wick happens down. So I guess we'll see how how's that going to resolve itself for the next 2 to 3 months. Now, I'll just crack on with some news of the day, and we'll get more into detail. So obviously, crypto markets have taken a slight tumble, right? And we went back to that 61% retrace, but am I concerned? No, because altcoins are not. They are absolutely not in a dangerous area. So if you see this, friends, this is a weekly chart. Look at Bitcoin, came back to the 61% retrace and it was over. However, if you go back and look at others BTC in May 2021, look what he had done. Okay, literally, this is what you're looking at. Okay, so that's how aggressive of a move you're looking at. Look at how it actually went all the way up here. That's what it did, that big move. And then you get the 61.8% retrace. Okay, so see how that's a completely different picture to what we have now. What I'll do now, I'll play some angel music just to smooth it over for everyone else out here who's trying to believe. My friends, I know it's just you, me, and Spoonie out here. It's a very, very cool, very, very cold world that we have to navigate. Now, in other news as well, Ripple, friends, have announced they're using ChainLink Oracle service for their stablecoin RLUSD. So, Ripple, they're just doing the tether route. Okay, that's pretty much it, friends. Everybody is trying to, not everyone. Okay, actually, they are. All the visionary founders in crypto, they are basically, they're building out their city, and everyone is copy pasting the biggest known market cap type of product market fits. All right, so you can actually see this in CoinGecko, any coin ranking site. So you have like Bitcoin, right, is a store of value. Now, Bitcoin is unique in the market. It's the only coin that actually consistently rallies in a bear market. It goes up for 3 years and down for 1 year. Okay, but everyone tried to make their own coin, right? So, but Bitcoin is a layer 1 chain. You know, so Richard Hart tried to get Hex to be like directly comparable to it. All right. No other chain guy has really tried to do that. They might try to make their own layer 1 coin, okay? But that's because Richard Hart did Hex first, okay? Then you have Ethereum, the layer 1 chain, okay? So Ethereum is the gas token. You know, XRP is used as gas on XRP chain. Ethereum, ETH is used on the Ethereum chain as gas. Pulse, PLS, is used on Pulse chain for gas. As you can see, it's a gas layer 1 token. That's like one of the next biggest product market fit in crypto. Then the third one is Tether, friends, okay? The actual third unique use case is Tether. And Tether, stablecoin, so all they do is they take your money, they buy government bonds, and they keep the yield. I mean, it's so lucrative. We even heard, like, even Donald Trump's family, they want to release a stablecoin. So everyone wants to release a stablecoin. That's why if we get this pDAI narrative happening, friends, it might act, that's why it's got some legs to it. Like if you're Richard Hart, and like every other founder is looking at all these other big product market fits, so they just want to copy paste, and they want to get a piece of the pie because there's value there. But don't think about, it's not like a vampire-ish type of approach or anything. It's kind of like if you are the mayor of a city and you go visit other cities and you go, oh, what do they have over there? They've got schools and hospitals. You get the basic stuff. You go, oh, we got the basic stuff. So there, what else do they have? They go, oh, they have, they've got resorts on the beach. And you go, okay, cool. We don't even have beaches. Okay, what else do they have? They go, oh, they got a Disney park. And they got a casino. Oh, let's put our own Disney park in our casino, right? And they go, oh, they got a sports stadium. Yeah, oh yeah, we need a sports stadium too. That's like the Dex of every city. Every city, every chain needs like a Dex. Yeah, you need a sports stadium for everyone to build out. So that's what, friends, my biggest contribution to crypto, just for you, helping everyone see we are like a digital nation, you know. And I'm comparing coins and product market fits to, like, you know, different things in a city, which no one's ever looked at before. No one's ever thinking about it like that. They're just looking at, people who would even think like that, all they're thinking about is like barely just doing roads. That's it, roads and bridges. But that's pretty much the bare bones out here. But that's when I see all these, that's why when meme coins come out, you know, friends, how far ahead of the game of meme coins I was calling Shiba Inu and Doge a Disney park theme experience back in 2021, back when it wasn't even a category. That's how I was describing it in my mind. I never knew it'd go these big, right? But I was just like, I could start to get it because I'm here 18 hours a day, okay? So now you get to see why Ripple want to go after stablecoins. Also why maybe Richard Hart wants to as well. Everyone wants their own stablecoin. And it would be actually fascinating if a lot of these layer 1 chains flip Bitcoin because they have their own stablecoin. It would be interesting. It would be, because Bitcoin doesn't have the stablecoins. It's got to use other different mechanics out here. But actually, Bitcoin doesn't need a stablecoin because Bitcoin goes up for 3 years and down for 1 year. It's basically treated like a savings vehicle by the crypto market participants. Okay, now remember, that's you, the market. You, the market, have said that every altcoin's pretty much dog shit, risky scam in multiple cycles. Okay, that's what you, the market, have said. And you, the market, have said Bitcoin is the least risky. But you might say that doesn't really matter right now, right? We're heading into the most risk-taking part of crypto. So going for the least risky, it means nothing, okay? But one day it will. So yeah, Chainlink, friends, obviously Chainlink price, not reacting. We'll go through a bit about later. Now, Uncle Bobby expects 2 to 3 months of painful Bitcoin chop. I'll show you the chart a bit later as well. So He's basically just got some squiggle lines going sideways. Yeah, 2 to 3 months, and just it's not like it doesn't expect anything to go down like viciously, but it's this I guess this sideways grinding out. And if I just show you here, it would be something like I mean, this is a 4-hour chart, but if we go to the daily, yes, it would be something like it's something like that. You know, you never know. It might have a little poke down or whatever, and then eventually we move up. So, which is interesting for timing. But here's the thing, man. In 2017, I know this because I've gone through the charts right, Cave. Altseason peaked in June of that year. Altseason peaked in June that year. So here's the thing, friends. So I don't know what comes next. It's just like you account for like different scenarios, and when one scenario starts going, you're like, oh, I wonder if that's my scenario. That's it. You just try to basically glue yourself into it. So you can actually see what I was talking about. You know how I said in June 17, June, that's when altcoins peaked. Yeah, in June 2017. Look at this. This is ETH BTC. See that? Actually peaks in June 2017. So we don't know. You never know. But remember, this is the just where's the actual discrepancy? It's to do with others BTC, right? In 2 out of 2 times, when it flipped green, it peaked 100 days later. Okay? It peaked 100 days in 2 out of 2 times. So that would be March this year. But if altcoins aren't peaking in March this year, if we go up slower, where would the next one be? Well, I'm going to assume June this year. June. And that is nice, I guess, because if everyone's thinking to sell in May, go away, and they're selling in March and April, the Jeets are selling early. That's what a lot of people are planning. I'll show you now, shortly, sorry. Yeah, does that mean you get them out and then you run up for another 2 to 3 months after? That's a possibility too. But either way, friends, don't even worry about the timing. The prices are low. Who cares, you know? It's kind of like if you believe Bitcoin's going to 200,000, it doesn't matter what it doesn't matter how long something may or may not take. It's well, the price today is only 96,000. You know, so it's okay, you can't do anything anyway. You know, whether it happens in 3 months or 2 years, you're waiting for euphoria. You see, they don't say in that buy in the depression, sell in the euphoria. When I always say it's not buy and then sell exactly 5.26 months later. Okay, it's you're literally just waiting for euphoria. And obviously, whenever we go through these periods, there's always people who doubt it, and they go, "Hey, maybe we just have these slow walk-ups." Yeah, that's anxiety, pretty much. That's anxiety. I can't see people going from extreme fear to extreme bull. Man, you got to remember, friends. Let me show you, man. Friends, could there be any more fear than zombie virus? Could there be? March 2020. No. Okay. Could there be any more risk taking than buying Dogecoin and SHIB up 1,000,000x? March, April 20. That's literally just 12 months later. Can you believe that? 12 months later, for maximum fear, we had maximum greed. In fact, we have not reached altcoins from their March, April, May peak, literally to this day from 2021. So absolutely, humans can go from max fear to max greed in short amounts of time. It can. Continuing on with the news as well, friends. I got a bit more information on this later on. So the consensus out there is for people to jeet their bags early. Now, friends, I know how market works, okay? When people say sell in May, go away, they're not actually selling in May, okay? They're selling 2 months earlier, okay? They're selling in March, okay? They're just to let you know. That's what we actually saw it. I've seen this phenomenon, right? So when people believe, oh, I'm going to sell in December, no one actually sells in December. The buyers run out pretty much October. Okay, the buyers run out. So it tops out around October. Maybe have a final push at the very, very beginning of November. But you should be, if you look at a chart, you should be getting out 2 months before. Because it's not about when everyone wants to sell, it's you've run out of buyers. That's the important part, okay? Because if people all believe, oh, this thing is going to, I'm going to sell in May, because what they're actually telling people is, when we reach March, 2 months before May, yeah? When we reach March, what they're actually they're actually indicating out there to their friends, to their family, they're indicating to the market that they will not be a buyer. So it's a strange phenomenon that it actually does play out like that, friends. So I'll show you the weekly chart for Bitcoin here, just to give you an idea of what basically happens. So if everyone, this is for altcoins, right? If everyone's expecting this is sell in May, go away, okay? But what actually happens is, when you're in March, people who would be, they should be taking on lots of leverage to get in. They should be, to cause the top and make it push up. They should be taking on like, more credit card loans, borrowing $300,000 on their home, getting their grandma in. They should be doing that. However, you've spooked them where you're like, oh, but you're actually getting out in May, so I'm not actually going in all in right now, okay? People go all in with all these things. They need, this is the interesting part about markets. We know from Coinbase stats, the average person's hold time before they move a coin and stuff, it's only about 28 days. Okay, they're trading their Bitcoin and Ethereum only 28 days of all these basically short termers. 28 days is basically the maximum they'll ever hold. A lot of them before they move, before they trade around and they just screw themselves up. 28 days. So it's fascinating that 28-day Jeeters, they need a sentiment outlook which provides them like 6 to 12 months of a runway of confidence. Isn't that interesting? You're like, wait, but you're a Jeet, bro. Like, why do you want 6 to 12 months of confidence when you're going to Jeet anyway? And that's because, why is the answer? It's because when they Jeet, they're Jeeting off emotion, not off logic. That's what it is. They're inexperienced. That by definition, that's why they're coming in to only buy the highs, but they don't know what they're doing. So like when people come and buy highs, fans, there are professionals, but overwhelmingly, the majority of people that attracts are strong, are weak hands. Our companions, price discovery pushers, okay? So like they are making money at the start. Everyone has paper money at the start, right? But eventually, like how the game ends, it's kind of like there's a boxing ring, right? Like an amateur boxer steps in, they are going to get some rounds in. They are going to get some hits in. But go, hey man, I don't know who's going to be doing good or bad in round 1, 2, or 3. I just know that by the 10th round, the amateur's probably got more bruises on his face and he's probably destroyed on average, Like someone who's been, say, training for 10 years and someone's only been training for like 10 weeks. You know what I mean? That's how you look at markets like this. So that's why if everyone's thinking it's selling in May and go away, yeah, we're basically, it's implying, fans, you run out of buyers here. But it's not like a necessary formula out here because the market expectations can change. But at least you've got an idea as to why it's say dangerous, right? If for example, Murad has told everybody he's selling in Q4 of this year. Now, what is selling in Q4 this year? Like, will we get so much of a big mania where retailers buy Murad's coins? But if he's told everybody he's selling in like at the end of this year, when do they start selling? They might start selling a lot of his coins in like, let's say, like if he's expected to start selling in October, they probably start selling in like August. And maybe a lot of his coins, they've already topped out by August, but people keep holding because they're expecting it to go high, but it makes a lower high at the end of the year. Okay. But then when you look back on the chart, so what I'll do is I'll just show you. I'm using SPX as an example here. So you might find, like, I hope this thing goes higher, but you might find, friends, like if everyone's expected, this is like the sell region, right? Everyone's expected. We might find it goes up, and then here's August. It actually peaks in August, okay? And then they come back down, but then at the end of the year, Bitcoin and Ethereum and other altcoins on Ethereum are going up, and this thing has made its lower high, like that. Now, how do I know this pattern? This is exactly what happened in DeFi 2021. Exactly, friends. I'm going to show you their charts right now. So I've shown you this lower high part. That's what it looks like. That is a classic lower high. So it might come back down. Look at this, and it does a 61% retrace. You see that? Comes back to 61% and it's all over. But when you look back at the chart, I guess in hindsight, you're like, oh, we ran out of maximum buyers in like August. But Murad said he was going to be selling in December. So I'm just showing you how these things play out in real time. Now, here's, for example, AAVE's chart, friends. AAVE from 2021. It goes up. There's DeFi, and look at this. They always come back, man. There's one last move up. Okay, look, this is just let me tell you something. Okay, AAVE had a lot of DeFi people. Okay, and it ran out of buyers by the second half of 2021. You see, so it goes up and it runs out of buyers. It was running out of buyers here because basically, I guess the makeup of people just ran out of buyers. They're like they're buying into new stuff. They think maybe the cycle's too euphoric or whatever. But it's only like June, July here. If you notice, like Bitcoin peaked here. Bitcoin basically peaked here. So AAVE had peaked much earlier, and then you just have these like lower high part. Okay, so you can't predict exactly these points in time, but now I've given you like this really in-depth look as to like, this is like advanced. This is literally more than, this is not even 10,000. This is like 30,000 hour market stuff. Just seeing this over and over and over and over again, that pattern out here, and then like me putting the pieces of the puzzle, because this isn't like 5-minute charts. This is like super macro charts. Like, hey, what's the crowd doing? What's this person saying on Twitter, right? So you see how the puzzle pieces form. And that ultimately is why, like, if you're trading long-term, friends, you have like a while to think about getting out. You do, you know? Like, even with AAVE here, think about like, look, you don't know what's going to stop out here, right? But you got weeks, you know what I mean? You got months, you got weeks. Yeah, you wanted $600 or even 1,000. It's still giving you 300. But look at this, okay? Because if you were long AAVE, let's say you didn't even get the bottom. Let's say you're up at $6, okay? You're still onside 44x. Now, you were onside like 100x at the top, but you're still onside 44x. So that's pretty much like why you buy in the depression. You're getting in the depression because you don't want to be battling people up here who are trying to scalp a 2x or 50% move and stuff out here. And by the way, this applies basically to almost all your coins. Continuing on in the news as well, friends. There's a pDAI update. So there's been a Hex OG wallet. They voted 369 in favor of some community proposal. Forgot exactly what it was, Amber. They've also, this Hex OG wallet was the one very early. It bridged pDAI over to the Ethereum side, and it provided liquidity on like Uniswap, like testing basically a bridge out. Now, we don't know if it's Richard, but it is a Hex OG wallet. So, see, a lot of things, people will say, oh, it can't be Richard because they might own this coin, or they sold this stuff, or they traded somewhere. Yeah, but he could do that too, just to throw you off. He might just have these wallets where he's like, hey, go, like he knows like, oh yeah, on certain days, he just plays around with the random wallets and he checks what type of wallets they are. That's just an example. But then it could be just conspiracy, reading too much into the tea leaves. That could also be that part as well. Donald Trump says he will cut taxes, slash regulations, and boost income. He also said interest rates are too high, which is funny enough, friends. You got to remember, interest rates are high because inflation's high. So he says inflation's too high and all the interest rates, but yeah, they want, obviously, I guess you want to lower rates and then lower the inflation. Yes, of course, that's perfect. But when you're bringing back all the jobs to America, it is very inflationary. That's why crypto might have a big boost this year, because there's just a lot of money coming in, and in the midst of the mania, we might just get hopefully an upward surprise. But then when you look back at it in a couple of years from now, like, you know, 2021, oh, it was amazing. But yeah, look, we got destroyed by inflation. It made everything worse in the bear market. So we might find that happens in the next few years, maybe 2026, 2027. If you weren't, I guess, utilizing this bull market, and unfortunately, if you round trip the bad stuff again, you'll find the inflation levels got bad again, and it made everything worse, you know? So that's hopefully, like, man, that's one of the main reasons why I really hope crypto, we get above this 10 trillion zone, man. We don't deserve to be down here. I'm not even joking, but we're actually entitled. We're actually entitled to this $10 trillion number right now. The amount of money they printed, orange juice is $9.50, cost of bananas are through the roof. It's just ridiculous. There's been a Coinbase versus SEC legal update, friends. So the judge, right? The judge thinks, so basically there's in the SEC Howey case, so this is related to Richard Hart, there's a test, right? So if you got to fail the test, and that's actually good, okay? You got to fail. So the test is like, one of the clauses is there an investment contract in there? But there's another word there. They go, is it an investment contract or transaction or a scheme? And in the Coinbase SEC stuff, okay, they're trying to call everything a scheme, same as Richard Hart. I'm not sure exactly the legal stuff, but that's the word they're trying to use. They're trying to say everything's a scheme. And you go, what does a word like scheme word? Like if you just look it up, what does the word scheme mean? Scheme means an organized plan of doing something, or a systematic configuration or design. Well, bro, everything's a scheme at that point. Everything. You could technically argue anything's a scheme. Pokemon cards are a scheme. Like, oh, I'm going to invent this world of amazing Pokemons, and there's a little card here, and then you're going to buy it from me. I like literally Nintendo, they make the cards or whatever, and then you're buying them. That's like the commodity, and then the intention is that you collect them over time, and they get more valuable. So like you want to keep buying the cards. That's an income stream for them. Because they've made a scheme here. It's like a security then. Because because they have different rarities of the cards. that you should always argue, oh, you've organized different cards, like Charizard's like really, really rare. You've organized that to be rare, so people keep like gambling and keep like trying to transact and buy your cards out. You see, now you're a security. Let's Pokemon cards. Let's lock up all the kids in jail. You see how like it's very, very silly. But the judge in this case, okay, they're trying to go after this word scheme, but Ripple are arguing that in their case, especially and Coinbase, that there's no investment contract. So remember, there's three words there. It got to be investment contract or a transaction or a scheme. But these words, contract and scheme, and they're so like vague, right? But the investment contract is another one. And say the judge pretty much wants to investigate something like that further. And like obviously, I just thought to myself, well, the judge is probably smart here because in crypto, the example I use in my post, friends, is in crypto, if let's say you're a bank actually. Or let's say you're a bank or a shark loan. If you give a loan out uncollateralized, unsecured, you know there's a higher return there for you. Okay, you can go find, hey, people just need money. You're a loan shark. Okay, they're paying you 20% rates, but it's unsecured. So they did not sign an investment contract giving you access to like their car to sell. Okay, so but here's the thing, like okay, because they haven't done that, you're getting more money. You know that. You're like, okay, I don't get to charge you 5% loan rate. I get to charge you 20% loan rate. So it's more income for me, but I'm taking on more risk. Yeah, I'm taking on more risk. Okay. So implicitly, you know that. You know that if you go get the unsecured loan and stuff out here. So I'm just giving you an example, right? There's no investment contract, I guess, with his loan out here. So if you do that and that person doesn't pay, you look like it's hell for you to go get your money. It costs you money. You got to get debt collectors and stuff. And I'm thinking, what about if we went that route with crypto, where investors are constantly reminded, hey, if you are buying a crypto and there's no investment contract, you understand that it is extremely risky if things don't work out. Okay, it's literally high risk, because if it doesn't work out, okay, there's nothing you can do about it. Like, it's very costly for you to go after that individual because there's no contract and stuff ruled up. Okay, so but then it might say, well, if you are with an investment contract, like here's the interesting part. If someone in crypto, here's the thing, okay? What if they could make a coin tied to an income stream, which is tied to some stablecoin yield, and they actually made a product, okay? So that might actually be popular for a lot of, say, boomers, because they might sign an investment contract. They go, well, I'm providing money out here, and then I'm getting access to this product, but your returns will be lower. It's not like you're gonna get like these 10x's or anything. Maybe they're just like, oh, I'm getting like a nice like 7% or 8% stream off this, right? And maybe those things get popular because people feel confident to sign an investment contract, knowing that if it doesn't work out, it's great. It's still okay for them, I guess, to get some legal advantages somewhere. But basically, we haven't gone that route completely because we're so early to crypto. But I'm just giving you an idea of what's possible. And if that judge does think about that investment contract stuff, because that was what Ripple's main argument was. They said XRP is not a security because there's no investment contract. Okay, when people buy this thing, they just buy this random thing out in the internet, on the universe. Okay, so there's a commodity. Yeah, they didn't sign a contract out here. Like, how is there signing? So that's pretty much the argument here. Moving on as well, friends. So shout out to Ivan on Tech, having some fun here with this paradigm shift that appeared.
Sommi, speaking about mainstream narratives and all of the countries in the past thinking in a non-crypto way. You know, Germany was the latest. Germany was the latest country to do a massive fumble. Okay. And Sommi posted this. German government dumped 50,000 Bitcoin at 55K. Also, this is on their websites. I mean, speaking about common sense, you can read it yourself. But this is like, you know, a call from the past. Like, I don't even think this is so relevant anymore. But this is like the past thinking that is now gone.
So, friends, this is obviously having so much fun here. Of course, there was some like man-to-man interactions, if you know what I mean. Instructions on the Germany government website. Now, of course, if you're in Germany, I love German people. I want you to know every government is in that same camp. They look really, really incompetent, especially when it comes to crypto, but that's our signal that the bull market is still early. Okay, so see, when we look at this stuff, we find this stuff out here, and they literally, like, they've given immigrants instructions like, hey, how to ask another, if you're a man immigrant, how to ask another man immigrant if you want to do jolly interactions, if you know what I mean. So it's kind of like strange. And like the same government's like, you know what? Let's just go dump all our Bitcoin right now and get this like Ponzi money, which we print anyway. So this world, this Fugazi world here that we live in here, it's like this backwards, warped world. It looks backwards and warped to us, but it's likely this bull market goes on to the point, friends, where you see some sort of capitulation. You never know. Germany buys back in. German government says, you know what? Let's write this into law. Something, okay? Just like they appear as signals. Like there is a FOMO back in somewhere. Europe, I don't know where it is. Eurocuck, lactating man boobs, I know. But there's a lot of things that like you look at it. Well, look, they always play out this way. Like basically an event happens. It's never just that one event. There's always a follow-up. There's always like series 2. You know, it's like a TV show. There's always Squid Games 2, Squid Games 3. There's always going to be a season 4. That's pretty much what happens. And then you look at it, you're like, man, is this part of the simulation? Because you look at the timing stuff and you're like, man, that is so crazy how these things play out. So maybe that's what we keep on our radar for these governments. Or maybe even other world governments, maybe they even bag out Germany. Maybe they start like taunting. You know, friends, El Salvador, when they got into Bitcoin in September of 2021, which I'll show you here, when they got into Bitcoin right here, yeah, El Salvador, friends, Nayib, as it went up, he was like basically trolling other countries, trolling them because it was going up. Okay, so they got in and then it started going up. So like that's something to think about. It's something. Are we going to see a country adoption spree this year at the end somewhere, last 3 to 6 months, and then Bitcoin's price, it's 200 or hopefully 288, like the Uncle Bobby believes, or 300K, and then they start taunting other countries. You know what I mean? On Twitter. Like just imagine that there's 5 countries that adopt it. They post a funny meme about, say, oh, Europe used to have them bought in. You know what I mean? Like that it's just these mirror fractals appear and then we're like, oh my gosh, this is exactly like El Salvador taunting everybody else. It's like this over exuberance of confidence. We've run out of buyers, okay? Remember, it doesn't mean everyone's going to sell. It doesn't mean they're selling. That's why it's not about that sellers, right? It's about running out of buyers. So we'll keep that in the back of our mind. Also, I got this funny video, friends, from, I forgot this gentleman's name, from Nick. Look, he goes, ha ha ha, you sold?
All sold?
Oh, man, so it's so funny. But so obviously, Nick, he is in the NFT world and on crypto Twitter. Nick is popular, obviously, because he's got his distinct face. A lot of people say he's got a big nose. He looks like an elephant and stuff. But like, it's funny. But what, man, I just can't believe a lot of these Jeet kids, Generation Jeet, like they taking him seriously. They don't know he's a caricature of himself. He is playing a personality and a character. There's so many people that look at him, they got really upset. It's outrage marketing. He's just doing the Richard Hart stuff. Okay, literally Nick that you just saw there, he's doing Richard Hart stuff. It's outrage. Like he's done pictures of like, look at my $5,000 outfit. And then everyone's like reposting the picture like, oh, but you look ugly, and they're doing that. And I'm just like, man, you kids, like it's always the same demographics. It's always like kids aged between like, 16 to 30 who like really want to impress women by buying watches and cars. Like that's all they think about all day. And they're just like always looking at the Rolex websites. Like that, it's the type of people who like, maybe they got like $6,000 in crypto, but they're the ones like if they made 120,000, the first thing they do is they cheat it. They buy a Rolex, they buy a car, and then they got nothing left. They're like, oh, so, you know what I mean? Like those short-term thinkers. If you do that, friends, you're literally gonna be, you'll be bankrupt very fast again. Just letting you know. You gotta literally treat crypto. It is a retirement vehicle, so you have to do these macro decisions out here. You're like, all right, you know what's better than one Rolex, friends? 20 Rolexes. Why don't you just leave it invested? Why don't you do that for long? But of course, people, it's very, very impulsive. Very impulsive personalities are attracted to crypto. So that's why it's unlikely that they're able to basically do that. But then what you end up finding out, friends, is they, it's not like, oh, they sell them. That's interesting. Everyone thinks, oh, they click sell, they leave, they walk away, and they great. No, bro, that's 1 in 30 people. Okay, 29 out of 30, they click sell on half. They don't pay their taxes. They buy a Rolex or they buy this other stuff. And the other half, they go try flip it into another coin. And they try to make another 10x. But then that drops 90%. Now they've got no money left. They owe like, 30% of their money to the IRS. And then in the bear market, bad stuff just starts happening. Their girlfriend breaks up with them. when their parents get sick, they lose their job, just like weird stuff like that. Just this is like such a common story. I know when you're hearing this, you're like, oh, that sounds like all those CoinFresh and Direct you've been reading, which is true. Now, where to from here, friends? I'm just going to show you Uncle Bobby's post. Uncle Bobby, went from before, he has these cycles out here. So you can see this picture on the very, very bottom. You see this, like, it's got, like, basically, this is the Bitcoin chart, right? And you have, this is March. This line is March, or just going, like, sideways for a while. These are weekly candles, yeah. So, you know, maybe dunk down, then go up, or go sideways and go up. Also, we have Crypto for You. First reply, actually, interesting. I've just noticed. He is wrong this time. Mike Jones. So when does alt season start? Well, here's the thing, sir. Mikey Jones. Great question. When does alt season start? Well, it depends on your definition of start. Okay. What do you think start is? Because if I show you this chart, when do you think this move started? All right. You would say, hey, Sommi, doesn't it technically start here? Yeah. That's 20th of December, 2020. Okay. What if our move is like this until 2026? Just like that. Just see how this move went up, wave 1 and wave 2. Okay. What if, and let's go back and we'll do it. What if we're going to do the same thing and we're going to do, let's check it out here. What if we do, like, you know, wave 1, wave 2? What if that happens? Well, you say, wait a minute, Sommi, if that move happens, technically the alt season started here already, which means alt season started in November. Right? You're like, wait, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't feel like it started in November. Yeah, but then it depends on your definition. What's your definition? If you go off when it starts to feel good, things start to go up, but you got to remember, this is an index. There's always someone's like Pudgy Penguin's got their airdrop. They got an infinite return. Pudgy Penguin's now 100K. Like, okay, they're deep in an alt season. You see what I mean? Like, so there's other coins that haven't moved at all. But if you go back 4 years ago, similar things were happening. Like if you said, basically, like Matic hadn't moved yet until about exactly a month or two from now. So Matic was still down. You're like, oh, alt season has happened. Matic didn't participate. But then it does 160x move up. So that depends on your definition, sir. You can't go based off that. That's why people's definitions of alt season, like, and you remember there's an altcoin season index, which just basically, if Bitcoin goes up 1%, but you go up 2% for the week, it calls you in an alt season because you beat Bitcoin. Yeah, but you only beat Bitcoin by 1%, but you've been bleeding for freaking 5 years. So how's that an alt season? See what I mean? This measurement is just like it depends on what you want. So I don't look at that. I don't think about, oh, are we in or aren't we? I don't think about it. To me, it's there's a strategy here. The strategy is buy depression, sell euphoria. Okay, and yeah, you might also say, hey, Sommi, when, maybe that's another question. You go, okay, maybe it's not the lowest price. Maybe you go, hey, when's actually euphoria here? When does the retailer says, oh, alt season is just getting started and things are just starting to move? Well, that's, it could be March, but you're like, hey man, March has a blood moon and it looks like everyone's Jeeting there. Okay, if it repeats 2017, that peaked out in June. So you never know. Maybe the circle happens here, maybe happens here. That's alt season wave 1. And then there's usually another one, which you don't know, which could be, I guess, from October, November, December, January. Then you're basically like, wait, that's so many months. Like, oh, could be June, could be March, could be. See what I mean? This is just, that's why I've made like these macro strategies just for me. Okay, you don't have to follow any of these, but I've just reminded you, in 3 out of 3 cycles, yeah, the thing to do was basically alt season wave 1, if you make a lot of money, you get out on that. But if you don't make a lot of money alt season wave 1, you got to punt number 2, which you don't, it's not ideal, but yeah, that's, you conclude that the end of times for the cycle is at the end of this year. Maximum a few weeks into January. That is for the overall market. There will be stuff, friends. If this is a big alt season year, there will be stuff that launches in February, March, April next year that launches and goes up. There will be stuff, but it's no coins that exist right now. The overwhelming majority, okay? Because, yeah, you don't get this, like, singular point out here. But, yeah, you've learned a lot today, friends. Like, subscribe, belly button, all. Catch you in the next one.